Terry Fox story. The journey begins. Terry Fox was born in 1958 in Winnipeg, Canada. As a young boy, he loved to play sports and games that went on for days. Terry was serious about finishing any project, no matter how long it took. As a child, he loved sports of all kinds. He played baseball and soccer with his little brother, Darrell, and his best friends, Doug Allward. Terry earned a spot on his eighth-grade basketball team, but it wasn't easy. He was not very tall and not a very good player. Still, through lots of hard work, Terry made the team. High school and beyond. Terry kept getting better at baseball while playing for his high school. In his senior year, he shared an Athletes of the Year award with his buddy Dow. Terry also got good grades in school. He wasn't sure that he wanted to be in the future, but he knew he wanted to keep playing baseball. He went to college at Simon Fraser University, which had the best baseball team in British Columbia. Making the team would take more hard work, but it was just fine with Terry. Things crashed. Terry earned a spot on the team, but then his life started to change. In November, his first year at college, he crashed his car. Terry wasn't hurt badly in the crash, but his knee felt sore. He didn't tell anyone about the pain. He thought his knee was hurting from basketball practice. By late winter, however, he was limping. His mother took him to the doctor. The news was not what they expected. The source of Terry's leg pain was a rare form of cancer. The cause was unknown, but Terry had a type of cancer could spread quickly and be deadly. Terry was angry and fearful when he first heard the news. He went through many different feelings as he began treatment. He moved into the hospital and his right leg was removed above the knee. Doctors hoped this would keep the cancer from spreading. No one could say for future, however, that the cancer wouldn't return. Terry had to learn how to walk using prosthetic mm, leg. Months of cancer treatment followed. The treatment weakened his body and caused his hair to fall out. In the hospital, Terry met other people who were being treated for cancer. He realized her experiences were similar to his. An athlete's life. Terry discovered he could still play sports even though in n- new ways. He played wheelchair basketball to strengthen his body. He trained hard like he always had before. Next, Terry tried running, which was awkward at first with a prosthetic leg. Soon, however, he got the hang of it and began regular training. At the first race, Terry came in last. Still, he felt happy. He had learned that he could do things he had always loved. A plan unfolds. Like other cancer survivors, Terry hoped that his cancer would never return. He came up with a plan to help in his search for a cure for the disease. He decided to run across Canada. At his run, people could give money for cancer research. A huge run such as This one was a lot to take on, but Terry knew that his idea could help a good cause and carefully planned the trip. He would call his run the Marathon of Hope. His friend Doug would go along with him, driving a van on April 12, 1980s. The Marathon of Hope began in St. John, Newfoundland in eastern Canada. Running across into Canada. The run was hard from the start. The days were long and the weather was freezing cold. The rest breaks. Teradov huddled in the van, making snacks. The narrow country roads Terry ran on were dangerous to share with drivers. Every day Terry's legs hurt, and he quickly grew sunburned. Terry showed up in a town exhausted, and no one was there to meet him. Other times whole town lined the streets to cheer him. Growing support, Terry crossed province after province, running the distance of a marathon each day. Each week the running was draining. Terry's spirits were lifted when his younger brother, Daryl, joined him on the trip. Growing crowds also made him happy. By late June, dozens of television stations and newspapers were covering his run. The entire country began to follow his journey. In Toronto, Ontario, thousands of people lined the streets and ran through the city. Money for cancer research was streaming in. Terrible news. Then in September 1st, after 5,300 kilometers, the Marathon of Hope came its sudden end. Terry had been feeling sick, and in Thunder Bay, Ontario, he stopped to visit his doctor, discovered that the cancer was back. Terry wanted to keep running, but it's impossible. He had tried he had to fly back to get care. The race goes on. Terry got 8 more months of treatment, but in June 28, 1981, he died. Although Terry never finished the Marathon of Hope, the run met his goal. Millions of people worried about the need to find cures for different types of cancer. Terry worked to fund cancer research didn't end with his death. Today, the Terry Fox Foundation continues to raise money. Terry's story still helps new people learn about the cause. Many people take part in early Terry Fox runs, once-day events that raise money for cancer research. These runs have taken place in Canada and countries all over the world. So far, the foundation has raised more than $800 million to fund cancer research. A complete cure for cancer hasn't been found yet, but huge progress has been made. Terry Run helped people to see the difference a single person can make in the world.